And I'm Debbie, and together
we are the Round Table Recap.
Hey, welcome back. We are on The Amazing Race, season 38, and we are covering the last two episodes, episode 11 and 12. And the contestants are off to Paris, France. And essentially, they are all back to square one with one another because they all get on the same plane, arrive at the same time. And here they have to go to Moulin Rouge to do a can-can.
Yeah.
So poor Joseph and Adam, they really struggled in learning the routine. But I thought it was smart of Jas and Jag where they knew from previous challenges that they could rehearse, but they really needed to get to the actual live thing to put it to music.
Right, yeah. They always seem to need to hear that music, and they were there early enough so that they could go ahead and do that. So, that actually worked out well for them. But it was just so funny to see everybody's first attempt on that.
Yeah, and even the judges that were watching them, I mean, some of them, they would laugh through certain parts.
But it's like with Joseph and Adam, I mean, they knew they messed up, but the dancers just kept going. It's like, well, what are we supposed to do?
I know, I thought about that too. I'm like, man, I feel bad for the dancers. They have to be tired because, I mean, they do it full out every time.
Right.
And luckily, Jas and Jag, they only did it twice and they were done. But Joseph and Adam, it took them 6 attempts. And Izzy and Paige, it took them 5 attempts. And then you have Taylor and Kyland, who actually they only did it in 2 attempts too. So
well, I put down 3. I thought.
Oh, maybe it was 3. Okay, maybe But they really moved up in this challenge because they had gotten to Moulin Rouge last, so they were technically in 4th place. But because they were able to get the routine down, they were the second to finish the challenge.
I always hate it when a team is behind because of the taxi driver. And the taxi driver told them, "Oh, it's just around the corner. Oh, it's only two turns up here." And I mean, and they were so far away from it.
Yeah, they got lost, and then there was a detour, and that's why they ended up so far behind the others. But in the end, it didn't matter. I mean, maybe had they gotten there, they would have maybe finished first and were able, to get ahead of everybody. But they definitely caught up on time.
So then they go on to Notre Dame.
Yes.
Notre Dame.
And this is the roadblock where they have to go to the Institute for the Blind. And actually, Izzy and Paige, they finished the can before Joseph and Adam, but then at this one is kind of where Joseph and Adam get ahead of them.
Yeah.
But this one was really, it was really tough. It was where they had to do the Braille in a big, I mean, it's a pretty lengthy poem. It's not long, but for, not knowing Braille, and then like they said, any little mistake, they would have to restart and do it all over again. But
yeah, I felt bad for Izzy on this one. I mean, she was good. I mean, she was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, of everybody, she was fast. And but I think it took her 5. Yeah, 5. Well, 2 she knew she messed up on.
Yeah.
And then I think it took her 3 tries after that. So a total of 5 times trying. And I think maybe if she had just slowed down just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, because what was it? Jas and Joseph were really the 2 slow ones, but they got it. They they didn't have to do as many tries, I feel like, because they really try to take their time doing it. And I want to say this episode was really tough, I feel, for Izzy with a can and then doing the Braille challenge.
Right.
Yeah, she was feeling the pressure for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then really after that is when they had to go find the clues from the 3 statues of liberty. And it was kind of smart again of Jas and Jag. They were like, "Oh, from the first clue." Well, they decided to go to the furthest one out, and
Right.
then from that first clue, they're like, "Oh, that looks like a building that they passed." So they kind of like kept that in mind, which actually ended up after they collected all three of them, they had to go back to that building. So I thought
Yeah.
that was smart on their behalf.
Yeah. I don't know if their
Perspective.
strategy really, I mean, they were so far ahead, it really didn't matter. But
Yeah.
if the race had been closer, I don't know if their strategy would have paid off because they were thinking, yeah, the furthest away and then come back. But I would have thought, start from the closest one and then work your way out is what I would have thought because you don't know where the pit stop is going to be.
Right. And it could be the furthest one out.
Right, right,
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it was observant of them to make note of the building based
right,
on that first clue. Yeah.
right. Yeah, yeah, that was good. But then they knew that they had kind of messed up with their strategy as far as
Mhm.
like they were going to have to backtrack now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they ended up first at the pit stop, and then Taylor and Kylan were second. And I don't really know how close Izzy and Paige were compared to Joseph and Adam because I mean, you couldn't really tell based on how many, everyone could choose their own path to get the clues. And
Yeah.
so,
Well, I mean, when Joseph and Adam got there, instead of going up the stairs, they went down the stairs towards the Eiffel Tower and away from the building, looking for the pit stop. And
yeah.
then when they decided to go back to the building, that's when they saw Izzy and Paige when they were running up the stairs. So I think it was kind of close because they saw them. So, you knew, not a whole lot of time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they wasted a lot of time running down the stairs.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, they beat out Izzy and Paige, and Izzy and Paige were the ones that were um, eliminated this round, which obviously you didn't know until you went to the next episode because it left off on between those two. You didn't know who was going to make it to the pit stop first.
Right. It was a two-part finale, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then after that pit stop, they all have to come to New York City and they have to essentially, again, be neck and neck because they're all on the same plane and they take off at the same time to go to the Empire State Building. But here is where I feel like Jas and Jack and Tyler and Kylan have an edge over Joseph and Adam because they made friends with their taxi drivers.
Right. Yes.
So that taxi driver helped them through the whole episode. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So where Joseph and Adam did not make friends with their taxi driver, and yeah, I think that didn't help them
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It definitely. I know, like after one of the challenges, when their taxi driver takes
yeah,
off,
yeah. They're like,
that
you said
really
you'd
didn't
wait
help.
for us. Yeah, no. Yeah.
He's gone. Whereas, yeah, the other ones, they made sure, yeah, they kind of included them in the finale. But
Mhm.
I like of all the challenges for the finale, I was hoping there was going to be a height challenge, because I always enjoy those. I forget, there was another, it was, Rachel and Brendan, the Amazing Race that they were on, which I cannot remember which one it was, but I remember in the finale, they had to go down, they had to go from the top all the way down to the ground, but they had to go down face first.
Oh
So,
wow. Yeah.
but so at least this one, they got to rappel, but still, I mean, they were up what 1,200 feet, and
Yeah, I mean, they went from the 103rd floor to the 90th floor. So I don't think anyone but what was it? Was that Adam or Joseph? One of them was afraid of heights.
Adam.
Adam. I think all the other ones liked it, and even
No.
again, I didn't note it, but it was either Jas or Jack where like they took in the view, and the other brother was like, "Hey, we're
I
we're
think it was
racing."
Jazz. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
Jazz who was yelling, his brother's yelling at him. Yeah, we're still in a race.
Yeah, yeah. But
Uh, yeah, I thought that was the highlight of the. Otherwise, I thought, yeah, this finale was pretty predictable. But yeah, I enjoyed the height
no, the
challenge.
rappel. So after that, I mean, it's pretty much. I feel like they're in order through the whole episode. So you got Jas and Jack in first, Tyler and Kylan in second, and then Joseph and Adam in third. And I feel like that's pretty much how the whole episode flows.
Yeah.
But then the next one they had to do was go to Sesame Street, where they had to go to a bakery and then deliver, which ended up being the Sesame Street place. And this is where, after they delivered, this is where the taxi takes off on Joseph and
Oh
Adam.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, they didn't really have any other issues besides that on this challenge. And then their next challenge was just the spandex house,
Oh right. Yeah.
where they had to get the different materials. They got to choose what patterns that they wanted to find, and then they had to go deliver them to the institutes. I can't remember. It's the students, so
The Fashion Institute. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then Joseph and I think or Jas and Jax were the only ones that ran into issues here because they were running, and one of their spools, got twisted and knotted
Yeah.
into the wheel. But I think because they were so far ahead, I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't matter. And then of course they're really great thinking on their toes, where they're like, let's not try to rip it out, but try to what's it called, roll the
They had,
wheel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They turned it in the opposite direction. Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, oh, are they going to try? Are they going to try to rip it out, and then all that fabric, then the wheel's not going to work, and yeah,
hmm Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, they've proven throughout this series that they're really good about thinking on their feet and coming up with really good solutions.
right, yeah,
So, and then they went to the crossword puzzle, which I thought was kind of cool because they all related to different activities or challenges that they had to do throughout the season.
right,
So I thought that was a nice touch for the finale.
yeah. I mean, they always do something like that for the very last challenge, but now it's been a while. I took a break from Amazing Race, and well, because of 2020, Amazing Race, they,
Went on
people weren't
hiatus. You're
yeah,
right.
people they weren't traveling, so it was a different Amazing Race, yeah. And so I took a break from it. But okay, so pre 2020, yeah, they always had at the end a challenge like that, kind of pulling the game together. That's why people take notes during the game. From what I remember, it was always one person. It wasn't a team. They didn't do it as a team. It was
Oh, it's a one-person challenge, like how
yeah.
they.
I,
Okay.
yeah, I guess I'm remembering some where yeah, they did do it as a team, but I remember a lot where it was just one person had to do it, and so it was nice to see that they did it as a team. I like it because I always felt bad if one person messed up and then they kind of felt it was all their fault if they didn't do
Yeah,
well.
all the pressure's on their shoulders. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I like that they finished as a team. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and that was it. Then whoever got to the Yankee Stadium first, and of course all the previous contestants were there as well to congratulate them. But no
right.
surprise, it was Jas and Jag who got there first.
That was a
Which I mean, I felt like out of all three teams, they definitely deserved to win because
yeah.
they.
I would have liked to have seen what would have happened if Tucker and Eric were still in the game. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been a very close run. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think that would have made for a really good finale.
yeah,
But
yeah. I feel like they would have been neck and neck, but I mean, it was good overall, especially for me coming back to Amazing Race because I haven't watched Amazing Race. I don't even know. Maybe the first season? Maybe. So it was nice to see how, everything gets played out and all the different challenges that they have to do throughout.
Yeah, yeah, because I know like before there's when they've had Big Brother contestants on The Amazing Race, but there was usually like Survivor contestants as well. I don't know, Survivor contestants generally do better than the Big Brother. So this was kind of nice because they were all from Big
Big
Brother.
Brother.
So
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a nice twist on top. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that concludes. Second place was Tyler and Kylan. Third place was Joseph and Adam. But that concludes season 38 of Amazing Race. If you guys are interested, we are doing the celebrity traders right now. So we are gonna just shift our focus on that until we finalize that series. So we'll see you guys next week.
Yay.